Hi everybody, it's Kathy here from Kathy Loves to Scrap, and I'm coming to you from the land down under. Today I'm playing along with Paw Your Way into Our Hearts. Don't forget to check out the playlist below. This is a layout that I've created for this month, and it's from my holiday away, and it is including the dogs from the Yukon that were the mush dogs, or the dog sledding dogs that we had a dog sled ride with. Now this dog here, his name is Idris. He's absolutely beautiful. Gorgeous eyes. The colours are just amazing. Idris was a favourite of mine. I just really wanted to take him home. Look at those eyes. They were just magic. Now they are working dogs, and that definitely poured its way into my heart that day. So I'm using some of these here to create some colour blocking on my layout, and of course I have got this plaid, which is one of my favourites at the moment. I'm going to use some navy cardstock for framing, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do some double framing of that plaid. So first of all, I'm just cutting out a 1-inch frame right around my layout, and then I'm going to reduce the plaid by 1/4 of an inch on 2 sides. That will give me my blue border nicely. Once that's done, I'm then going to gut this one by 1 inch border all the way around, and the reason I'm doing that is because I'm then going to mount it on the navy blue so that there's a double mounting of this frame. This is a really simple, effective technique, particularly when you are using a colour blocking process for your layout. So I'm going to trim down the blue on the outside here so that I get it the right size, and then from there I'm going to make sure that both sides are matching, and then I will, you saw I just undercut there, so I had to put in another cut. I'm cutting out the middle here because I'm going to use that on the layout as well. So when I gut paper like this, it's because I'm stretching my stash, and this is how you stretch your stash so that you can add all of the different layers into your layout without having to go and get extra pieces of paper or cardstock. Because sometimes, I don't know if you're like me, you buy a piece of paper because you like it, and then when you go to use it, you don't quite have enough to do the idea in your mind, so you need to stretch your stash. And to do that, gutting is a great way of doing it. So I'm laying up my border here, and this one is going to be the first layer of the border, and that's going to go onto that blue frame that I cut from the original cardstock. Now I have overcut there, but once I put this down you can't see it, and it holds it together. And when I'm putting down my layout with paper, particularly flimsier paper, I only release one side at a time to avoid ripples in the framing. Now that this one is a solid, I can put it down over my frame that I have there, and now I'm lining it up, and I'm going to have a double frame. Now, I seem to be saying now a lot today, so sorry about that. I'm just going to turn it over, and I use some washi tape to seal down those edges on the back so that that layout is now solid. So with this red and white gingham that I'm adding to my layout, or the plaid, whichever way you'd like to look at it, I'm going to put it into the 2 corners there to give a colour blocking effect to this layout. So by putting in squares over sections of your layout, we create a colour block. Then I've laid these 3 photos diagonally across my layout, and I'm using those to draw your eye down from the top left to the bottom right. But I want that centre photo of Idris to stand out, because I really want to showcase those eyes. They were magic. They were like ice blue. This dog was beautiful, and I just spent ages with this dog because it was just beautiful. And it sounds really funny, but it was an extremely hot day in Alaska, or actually top of Canada. We're in the Yukon, and it was extremely hot there, and the dogs were pulling the sled, so they were getting hosed down at the end. So that's why there was so much water around, because they had to keep those animals cool for the amount of work that they were doing. And when we got off our dog sled ride, Idris was there, and I was able to spend some time patting and getting to know Idris. I tell you, I would have taken Idris home for sure. So I've mounted my photos on the white cardstock. I have now cut a frame, which you saw me do, out of the remainder of that white cardstock, and I'm just lining it up on this middle photo so that it becomes an accent for that photo. I want that photo to stand out, and the white, or it's actually an off-white, is the perfect way to make this stand out. It picks out the colour of Idris's fur, and it also highlights the colour of Idris's eyes. So I'm just worked out how I want that to sit on that layout, and I'm just shuffling it so that I'm getting it as close to a square as I can. Given that I have a rectangular photo, I'm trying to have a rectangular frame, and that's where your embellishing comes into play as well. So I've now adhered that to the back of this photo nice and easily. Not so, as you can see, the paper tape on the double-sided tape is being a little bit fussy, and I think that's due to the weather and the environment at the moment. It's a bit damp at places, and so therefore the paper gets a little bit stuck on that double-sided tape. All right, my 3 photos are now in a diagonal. I have this die cut here of a wolf or a hound dog, and it's of an Alaskan landscape, so it also has a bear in it and the mountains, and I thought it was a nice touch for this. I've die cut out little banners, which I am using the off-white colour for the title, Mush, and I'm going to double lay out these banners as well. So that adds another point of interest onto the layout. Now with the banner, if you don't have a die that you can use, you can just simply cut them out by cutting out 1 inch by 1 inch squares and then shaping them according to the style that you'd like for your banners. I am double mounting these just for that extra point of interest, and you can see that it makes the title stand out by doing so. I am using my Deluxe Nuvo glue here. That's nice and tight and easy to use when you're using small embellishments like this. So banners are a great way of putting a title to a page. They add a different element to your layout, and if you sweep them from corner to top or top to bottom, they are a feature on your layout. I have this saying here that says, I am living my best life every day. Then it's got a good times today, and I have the heart there because they are pouring their way into our hearts, and that's what I absolutely loved that day. So now that they're adhered, I use this tiny little punch to punch out little hearts. I have popped the hearts on the banner. That's a good way of adding that extra definition to your layout. And now I'm just adding some faux stitching around the main features of the layout, which are those double matting of the squares. I have a bit of thread caught there. I don't know where that's come from, but it's stuck. I'm now faux stitching around the outer part of that plaid as well, so that you can see that that's giving it that tie-in with the white and making it sit on the layout with a finished touch as opposed to fading into that blue framing. It actually highlights each of the layers for you. This is just a simple addition for your layout that you can add to any layout. You can either do it in white, you can do it in black, or you can do it in the colours of the layout depending on the papers that you're using. And with that addition, you see that everything now pops out and the photos really take centre place of this layout. So it's a simple layout talking about Paws to you, and then it has banners in the top corner. Now that die cut there is sitting a little bit flat on the layout, so what I'm going to do is I am going to distress ink around the edges of this die, and I'm using Picket Fence, which is a white stain with the ink, and I'm just going around the edges, and as you can see, that has made that die cut stand out now off that busy background. And it's those little simple techniques like that that make a difference with your layouts. So don't be afraid to go in and ink if you're not happy with your outcome, and then make sure that your final outcome comes together the way you want it to be. So you can see those little hearts that I've added in clusters of 3. You can see where I inked up that die cut to give it that boost. And that's my layout for this month's Paws your way into our hearts. And not my own dog, but a dog that really captured my attention and my focus when I was overseas. So hope something here has inspired you to get creative. Use some frames, use some banners. Look at those eyes, they're magnificent. You can see how I've highlighted that die so that it pops off that page. I'm Kathy from Kathy Loves to Scrap. I'm coming to you from the land down under. Give me a thumbs up if there's something here that you liked or inspires you. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button to find out my next layout when it lands. Leave me a comment. I promise I'll get back to you. I really do appreciate your feedback. You can find me on all my socials under Kathy Loves to Scrap, including in Instagram, where I have all my layouts, even those without video. Thanks for watching. Happy scrapping. Until next time.